options in there, kind of explaining what each of these areas do, who's in charge of those areas, as well as the different service opportunities that we have at Holy Trinity. And if you would like to learn more about that ministry and or get involved with that ministry, this is really kind of connecting people together with the ministry opportunities that we have. So you'll discover countless opportunities that we have to engage with one another and grow in our Christian formation. So whether that be through Sunday school for all ages, our Bible studies we have to offer, our youth and family ministries, our men's and women's groups, as well as many, many other service opportunities. These spaces that we have here are designed to nurture our faith and to express that faith as we connect with others and deepen our understanding of God's Word as we journey together as disciples of Jesus. But this is more than just an event this morning. It's a chance to consider how the Holy Spirit is calling us, each of us, to grow in our faith and our service. So whether we're new, like myself, or we've been part of this family for years and years, we've grown up here, things have changed. This is a place for us to grow and to learn and to serve in ways that make an impact both on our lives as well as the lives of those around us. So, as we embark on this journey this morning, let us remember that Christian formation is a lifelong journey. It's a journey that we journey together on. So each step that we take in faith and service brings us together closer to Christ and to one another. So I pray that today you will be inspired and empowered to discover the many ways that we can grow and serve within this congregation and beyond. So thank you for being here this morning. I'm going to invite up Danielle from Displaced Roses, where she's doing amazing, powerful things and awesome opportunities to serve. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you want to stand up here? You want to be down there? Whatever. Okay.
Okay, thank you guys for having us this morning, and good morning. Some of you may know, but time has flown. We've actually celebrated 1 year here at Holy Trinity in the PLC. That was September 1st. So that is an amazing way of how the church itself is going with your goals of knowing and loving and showing Christ, and that's been able to partnership with us for this past year, and so that has been amazing. Through your choice of partnership, we've had almost 900 office visits since we've been here this year. We've served over 230 unhoused individuals in that amount of time as well. We've done over 600 loads of laundry, and we have provided almost 700 showers in that amount of time, and that takes the commitment to partnership and to show and love Christ from great congregations and members like you guys. So for some that are new or joining or have missed some of the things, what is Displaced Roses? So Displaced Roses started as ministry. We are still ministry, but what we are termed as is advocacy outreach nonprofit for those that experience homelessness throughout Gaston County. So I serve all 14 municipalities. As you can imagine, all 14 municipalities can't get to me, so I'm on the go a good bit. So one of the questions that we got was kind of about our hours and kind of the hit and miss of that. Because I go and serve all of these different places, I'm not in the office at like a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of situation. Wednesdays, I will always be here because those are our walk-in day services. So if you've got somebody who's like, oh, I want them to get connected with something, maybe they might need assistance, maybe Danielle can help. The best way to make sure that that individual might be able to get me is on a Wednesday, starting at 10. Our hours are 10 to 1. 1 is when we stop taking people in, but services continue throughout the day. So what is advocacy outreach? A lot of people were like, what does that mean? And so what that means is that we go and we try to teach others how to serve the unhoused community, to teach how we make person-centered things. You know, this person is not the homeless person, just like you're not diabetes, right? This person has diabetes, so this person is experiencing homelessness. So we go experiencing homelessness or unsheltered, kind of all of those ways. And we do a lot of community outreach to build. Because of that, and we know, as the word tells us, we need hands to help to do the work, right? Help us to ease the burden and carry and walk with others. Because Holy Trinity has allowed us to have a headquarters here, we've been able to connect with other community agencies to be able to provide a more robust kind of offerings, particularly on our Wednesdays. So that includes things like community paramedics are able to come out and check people's health needs when they're there. You know, people have a fear of going to the hospital, or what's that bill going to be like, or maybe I don't want to wait and be turned away. So because of Holy Trinity, there's a place now where they can come into the community and receive those services, along with other things like they're identifying documents. DSS is able to come through. We've got a lot of trainings for things that happen right here in our community, thanks to you all. So that's kind of that advocacy outreach. So what we are not is a shelter, emergency or transitional or otherwise. So no one is living at the church, client-wise, any of those things. We don't house that here. The services that are offered here are those to help alleviate some of the burden. So again, laundry services, showers, we're able to help people get their identifying documents, fill out paperwork for food stamps and all of that. But we do not shelter anyone here. We also don't pay for housing. So that is one as well. If you may see someone, you know, on the street and go, hey, go help Danielle. Danielle can help, you know, pay for you to stay in a hotel for a little while. That is not something that we do. We are not a cash ministry. However, we are connectors. So if there is a program that is available that could help an individual with that, we will go and we'll try to kind of do that piece together. So all of the ways that kind of, as we're talking about the new season, the rally of kicking off into ministries and how you can get involved. There's been a lot of questions as to kind of how that can be, and we offer a variety of ways that are really just fit for you. So when someone comes to me and says, I would love to volunteer and all of those things, I always ask, what are your gifts and talents, right? Because the Lord gives us something innate in us that only you can do, right? So one of the things that some of our women's circles that I've been kind of going around to that we've shown is like our t-shirt bags, where we cycle up. So we take old t-shirts that are no good, nobody can really wear them, and they cut them off and sew up the bottoms, and that way it goes out and we're able to fill those bags instead of making plastic waste, and also saving the ministry money of purchasing tote bags and all of that. That is a great way of service to help us, and yet you never, you know, leave your home, right? It's also a great way of fellowship and community. So when we're talking about how we're putting together these small groups, your men's ministries, your women's ministries, that's a great task that you guys can do to help us as well and volunteer to help others. Speaking of your men's, right up here I've got two of my Wednesday volunteers, Miss Ann and her husband Denny. You'll be able to see all three of us out in your lobby. But this coming month, we're going to have opportunities for men's ministry to go and do. We are expanding into your underground section. So what used to be for your youth is now going to turn into donation sorting space for displaced roses. So you may like go and try to cut through that space to realize, oh, there's tables and boxes and what's going on. And that's us moving into the space. So there's an opportunity for the men of the church to help us as we have to move those things out. That are the old storage stuff from HT, and then be able to paint the walls. That is a project that's all happening in the month of October. So we have a lot of growth that's coming on. We're making some additions or expansions to our shower space. So we will be closed during the month of October for those renovations to be able to happen. That's a great way to put like real tangible hands to something if you would like to do that. If you go and you say, you know, I love cooking, our Circle of Goodness ladies, thank you all so much. For the past couple of months, they committed to the third Wednesday of every month to make a meal that we can serve on Wednesdays to those that come in, right? So they're not physically there during the day, but boy, does that meal make a difference. And all of the happy faces and full tummies, and it just really, really makes an impact. That's a great way to go and volunteer. So you can talk to us afterwards to see about, hey, I have an interest in this, or I may like to know this about that place. That leads us into some of the questions that you guys submitted to the church for us to do. And one of them happened to talk about, I think it was a training?
Yes. Do you have regular training sessions for those who would like to serve?
Okay, perfect. So We are working on a training session set for those that are interested in our Wednesday walk-in days. Wednesdays take a lot of manpower, and it's a very tough day. So first, we have to make sure who is interested in those days to be able to have kind of a group training session for that. Wednesdays are not kind of a pop-in, plug-and-play, oh, today I want to help Displaced Roses, I'm just kind of going to show up. You can't really do that with us on a Wednesday because there's training that is required before that piece. That training will usually take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. So, well, why that much, right? Well, we deal with a lot of people's personal information. So, for instance, you wouldn't want your nurse that you see out and about going, oh, yeah, Donna, I saw her, you know, she's got such and such, or hey, right, you would want that information protected. So we go through the training of how we keep people's information private and secure. We also go through safety training. We also go through if-and training. So that's the reason why you can't just kind of show up on a Wednesday, but we do have the training available for that point in time, and we would love to do groups of time to go ahead and train for that. On Thursdays is kind of a great, I would love to plug in day. I've got free time today. What is that? And so Thursdays tend to be our donation sorting days. There is training that happens just right before, like when you come. Hey, this is what we do. This is how we'd like you to go and set it up. So a Thursday is a great way if I've got like 2 hours today. Let me see if I can help Displaced Roses. Thursday is a great day for that. Thursdays are also the overflow laundry days. So as I mentioned those numbers before, we do an average of probably about 45 to 60 loads of laundry just from the Wednesday. And it takes me a really long time. So if there are hands that are willing to go, hey, we'd come in on Thursday and to help you do laundry, that would be amazing. So those are ways that we would train you how to do the laundry on that day. It doesn't take like an extra set of time to do that.
Great, thank you. Does Displaced Roses have any oversight? Is there a board of directors or any means of accountability?
Yes, so even while we were just ministry, so we started out in 2020, I was at the oversight of my home church, so, you know, making sure we submit and do things because God likes order. In 2023, we got our nonprofit status, and so we are required by law to have a board, and we do have a board of directors. Currently, there are 9, and actually, your old minister of music, Chris Murphy, he sits on our board, and so Chris helps us to make sure, at the time, he was still here when he joined, so, and he is continuing that kind of bridging to make sure that if there are any ways that we can help Holy Trinity or ways that Holy Trinity can get involved or what to know about Holy Trinity's past or plans for the future. Having somebody present on our board has always kind of helped us to do that in the time that we have been here. So yes, we do have a board and we do have oversight.
Awesome. So this one's a little unique. It is my understanding that St. Mark's Episcopal and Displaced Roses are duplicating service to the homeless in our community. Can these two ministries combine their resources and work together rather than duplicate the ministry?
Okay. So there's many needs, and so it takes many hands and feet. I think possibly what this question is referring to is St. Mark's Bus Stop Ministry, which is soup and sandwiches on Wednesdays. There's been some change with things since City of Gastonia has stopped regular public transportation, so we no longer have buses. We have something called microtransit. And B, a law was passed, kind of snuck in on everybody, which was called Grants Pass, which what it does is it kind of heightens the consequences for those that are unsheltered when they are in public places. For instance, the bus depot. So because of that, St. Mark's has not been able to minister in the ways that they had previously by going to the bus depot down there in the kind of that downtown corridor. So that has kind of stopped. That would be the main one. Now, St. Mark's has a blessing box, which Holy Trinity has a blessing box as well. St. Mark's offers like grab-and-go sandwiches that are usually left over from their Wednesday bus stop options, and so those unsheltered that are aware of that food, they can ring the doorbell and like get a grab bag. But the difference is that St. Mark's is not staffed for the unsheltered. There's not a walk-in day where they provide showers. There's not a laundry facility for individuals to go and get. There's nobody on staff trained or volunteer trained to go through some of the kind of crisis response things that we do to give the medical attention or paperwork that we have. So we don't really duplicate, we're not the same in those ways. Now, our previous ministries where we go out and serve meals, in those ways we are similar, but those are kind of where the comparisons stop. Okay, so, okay. As of Tuesday, because I sent a message out once we got the questions to Archdeacon Brenda Gilbert, who is over there. She's the one that really kind of pays attention and runs to that piece. They don't have something that is offered every day on a set thing. Now again, individuals can come and get a sandwich and soup that are pre-made once a week, and the church stores them just for that purpose, but there's not like a set ministry thing, right? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, there is a church that's nearby. It's called City Set on a Hill, which is further up Franklin, and they do like a meal, a sermon, and that one is Monday through Friday from 12 to 1. Okay, great. What's our next one?
I think that's it. I think we covered them all. I think this is important. What is your greatest need?
Ooh, okay. Depends on the category, depends on the day. All of the days at NNY, my greatest need is hands, right? Mm-hmm. So though we love your like financial donations, and yes, the ministry needs that to operate, your time currency is the most precious thing, right? So going and giving that time to volunteer or help out in some sort of way means a lot. That would probably be the best, the most need that I have. And so again, all of those are in different ways. Sometimes it's not the physical, I'm lifting something, I'm moving something, but I need an admin. We are working on solidifying a volunteer coordinator between those that are interested in volunteering with Holy Trinity Group and then us, right? So we need somebody to fill that role. There's so many kind of different ways that you can plug in, and so that's it. So it seems like a lot of commitment, and it is. I pretty much work 23/6. I'm trying to give myself at least 1 hour a day to sleep. So that takes up a lot of time. So it's not necessarily that I need that amount of commitment from you, but commitment is still there. So if it is, like for instance, our Circle of Goodness goes one Wednesday a month, we can offer a meal and we will take care of that, take care of the cost, take care of the prep, and it's here. That's an amazing commitment that has helped me tremendously. Also, when another church comes and asks, well, I hear you guys, do meals, kind of what can we do? I can go, I've got the first Wednesday and the second Wednesday because I have a commitment on the third Wednesday. Does that make sense, kind of what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that is one. Physical needs would probably be our shower supplies, which would be our biggest ones in that are underwear, deodorant for men and women, and then men's body wash. So women, we tend to think a lot about those things, and kind of men don't. So we kind of get a little more women's stuff than we do men's stuff. But those are the kind of the three areas in particular that are needed, where we're ending up spending ministry money to go out and kind of purchase or buy. And then of course the next area is like laundry detergent. We go through a lot of that, a lot of laundry sanitizer. I'm looking for Mr. Dick. I don't think he's in here, but one of your guys on your Monday, Tuesday crew, right, was like, you really do a lot of laundry. And so once a month, he purchases me the Lysol laundry sanitizer, which we put into every load to make sure not only are they like smelling clean, but that they're actually sanitized. Because people are wearing these clothes for a long amount of time. They'll have accidents in them. We have those that are on blood thinners, and so you bruise and you bleed easily. And so that has been a great commitment for him. That's one less thing that we have to purchase. So those are kind of our greatest needs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to be out in the connector
Yep.
where the little brown spaces are. If you've guys got more questions about anything, if you would like to see from a volunteer, kind of, okay, what is a day really like for us? I asked them to come today, and they are here, so I'm so grateful for that. And again, thank you guys for just everything. We hope to make it another great year here in partnership with Holy Trinity for year 2. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Now I'm going to shift into our organizational ministries. So the stapled sheet has everything that I can think of and a few others can think of all the things that we do. That's amazing that we have all these opportunities to serve and to be involved. If you don't have one of these, Frank Moxham's got the sheets. I'll get you one. I'm going to briefly go through these real quickly and just kind of connect the contact people to you. If you are wanting to get involved or learn more information, please contact at least the council representative or the contact person for that ministry so that you can get plugged in and get involved. So we have our care ministry team. Our council representative is Frank Moxham, and our contact person is Anita Stiles. So the mission for this team is to care for one another by coordinating ministry to sick and homebound members. And I would even extend this to just welcome and care for our individuals as well. So we have lots of different opportunities. There's card ministry that each of the circles does cards to our shut-ins and hospital groups, members, our cancer companions. We've got condolence and bereavement meals. We have hospital and shut-in visitation. We even have lay-let shut-in visitation that we just commissioned 7 people to do that have been going out and doing the visitation with their shut-ins. We have a prayer list, leader selection that lead their prayers on Sunday morning. And then we also have flower delivery that go to those members that have sponsored flowers and or are shut-ins if nobody sponsored them. So there's lots of different opportunities there, and I don't know if I have everything encompassed in all this. So if there's something that's missing, let me know so we can add it into the sheet as we go through here. We have communications. So we have our council rep is Bill Aker, and Grant Sparks is also helping with this too. So mission is to utilize print and electronic communications to raise awareness of ministry activities and opportunities, oversee the website and social media initiatives, and advertise Holy Trinity's ministries to the wider community. So we have a website, we have email, we have our Herald newsletters, we have weekly digest or robocallers, our outside communications like radio, newspapers, etc. Social media, I don't know if there's anything else, but this helps us get the connection of the things that are happening to everyone that needs to know it. So this really is an important ministry of the communication side of things to get all that advertised. We have congregational life. Sorry, I should go back. Anita, are you in the room? Yes. Do you want to say anything about care ministry? Did I miss anything? Okay. Bill? Bill still here? No. Grant, did you want to say anything? We're good? Okay. Congregational life. Anna couldn't be here this morning, but she is our contact for that. Ministry. The mission is to provide opportunities for congregational members to gather for fellowship and participate in the life of the congregation. So we have our welcome team. So in the welcome center, we have the setting up of the coffee and snacks and kind of creating a welcoming environment and space there. We have cooking ministry. This has kind of died off with COVID. It's something that I think is a really good opportunity to connect with our guests and our new members to kind of connect them to us and share a little bit. We have Sunshiners, which just met last week, I believe. Yes, to kind of set the stage for what we're going to do this year. Men's ministry, women's ministry, and then women's ministry's also got a couple circles, a circle of goodness and circle of patience. Did you have anything that you wanted to include in that?
I've got some things that Anna wanted
Okay.
to share.
All righty. I'm not Anna, but she left me a little list of things that she wanted to share. The primary responsibility of congregational life is to pull the congregation together for fellowship. While we are not a food committee, nearly everything we do involves a meal, since that is when fellowship most often happens. This past year, we have operated by forming small task forces to oversee each event. And currently, we're working on the 125th anniversary celebration. As we draw closer, we will be seeking your help to pull together the many activities for the weekend. In the past, congregational life has served as a central point for all the ministries to coordinate their projects or events. We also looked for ways to pull in and orient new members to the life of the congregation. We hope that we will become more involved in these areas in 2025.
Thanks, Peppy. Any other questions about that? So this guide, again, kind of referencing, this is for you to kind of mark up and to take home and to pray about, to seek out more information from these groups, as well as prayerfully consider how you can be involved with that.
Pastor,
Yes, sir.
we are going to try and jumpstart our men's ministry again this Friday.
Yes, sir.
Cookout.
Yep.
There'll be hamburgers, hot dogs, and whatever else, other meat that Cody decides to cook. There'll be Lutheran barbecue beans, and we're asking everybody to bring a couple days something to share, chips, that sort of thing. I'll have a bonfire and a good time. And then on the 12th of October, we're going to have our first breakfast, and we're going to unite with the Anglican men, and we're going to see if we can't go back and forth between the, so we're going to jumpstart this ministry again.
Awesome. Thank you, Bruce. For property committee, boy, we have some property projects, that's for sure. So our council representatives are Steve McLam and Richard DeFreitas. So the ministry is, and the mission of this is to oversight of all the facility needs here at Holy Trinity. And so some of that means we've got some big projects going on, like we do behind me over here. We've also got little things like, hey, we noticed that there's this leak going on over here. Let's figure out what that's being caused by. Or we need some plumbing help. So it's really kind of connecting some of the maybe occupational things that people are doing, or maybe they've done things in hobby that can help facilitate some of the needs of the church, so that we don't have to contract out somebody and pay lots of money to get that taken care of. So with that, we have a work crew. We've heard a little bit about the work crew. That's on Monday, Tuesday. Years ago, they used to have T-shirts and everything. I hear that it was a big deal, and so I'm like, well, let's rejuvenate this and make this go again. So we have Dale Chrisman, James Green, Dick Dubler, and Bitch Gibbons helping out with work crew stuff. Sometimes they're here every week. Sometimes it's, as they have things going on, they bop in and out based upon their vacations and other things that are going on in their life. We have recycling. Dale Crispin helps with the recycling, so if you'd like to help with that and getting that over to the recycling center, because Gastonia does not have recycling anymore that comes to our door, we have to take it to the redemption center. Custodial assistance, helping set up and tear down after events is helpful, so that we don't have to continue to have so much of a burden on our custodian, David. Like especially on weekends if we have something going on, to help him get stuff set up for worship on Sunday. And then set up cleanup crew, same thing. And then vendors and contractors. So again, if you're a contractor, we can hook you up with some projects. If you know people and have relationship and good relationships, that could help us connect those as well. Any questions about property? Okay. Personnel chair, Lee Young. Is Lee still here? I think he had to go. So Lee Young and the Personnel Committee develop and maintain personnel policies, providing guidance on personnel issues, participating in service search committee efforts, screening applicants, recommending salaries and benefits, coordinating annual staff reviews, encouraging staff team building efforts, facilitating annual administrative professional appreciation luncheon. That is a mouthful. So this is oversight of our staff, pastoral support, as well as our security task forces in here. So some of the things with service opportunities in this group is helping with our nursery. So if you are love kids and would like to help support that in the mornings on worship, either that or at our P&Os or Parents' Nights Out or Parents' Morning Out, that it helps us provide that opportunity for our young people. We have office volunteers that help answer the phones if we have a staff meeting that we're focused on our staff meeting, and the phones can then get answered and responded to, as well as helping with folding bulletins and the newsletter, the Herald. There's also those opportunities. And then Security Task Force is something that I don't know 100% about. Grant, do you want to speak more about that or no? Sure. I know we have a security officer that comes on Sunday mornings and keeps security here, but I think this expands more than just the security officer.
Okay, thank you. So, unfortunately, security is an issue in the world today, and so we're just trying to be safe. And obviously, we have Officer Hamrick that's here every Sunday, which is great. But we have kind of a ad hoc task force that we met a couple times when we started things. We're getting ready to have another meeting. If you would like to be a part of that, it's not much of a commitment. We're just going to talk about, what do we need to do? Do we need to make any changes? Are we doing everything we can to be safe? And so if you have any thoughts about that, then feel free to let me know. We'll be glad to include you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for personnel? Okay, moving on, we've got finance. So this is represented by Lee Stadther and Lee Young, with Lee Stadther, our treasurer. And so this is, maintaining accurate and complete financial records at our church, overseeing the handling of the offerings received, financial record keeping and reporting and budgeting, managing the investments, capital campaigns, and other appeals, overseeing the benevolence that happens here, that we give to organizations and missions, as well as memorials received in memory of loved ones. This is also financial stewardship, as well as kind of keeping the offering envelopes and tithe cards kind of confidential and for that. So there's not much to get involved with that group, but that is a group of our church. One of the things that I would love to see is kind of, what does stewardship mean? It's way more than just financial giving. This is the connectivity that we're talking about here, of if there's a need within the church, connecting those that have occupational experience or hobby experience to some of the needs within the church. That is a stewardship. That is being a good steward of the gift that we've received and the resources that we've received. So that's something that we're going to start thinking about in the future, of connecting those abilities and talents and gifts that we have to the needs of the church. Any questions there? Okay, we've got our outreach. We have local and global, and our council representative is Judy Zander. And so the mission for this group is to equip and mobilize members of Holy Trinity to serve the community around us and throughout the world. So we have two parts to this. We have our local community that we're doing both inside this congregation as well as around us here in Gastonia and our surrounding communities, as well as our global, where we're doing things beyond our borders here. So locally, we have a couple ministry that are pretty frequent that happen during the school year and beyond. So we have our Backpack Weekend Food Program. So this is with Rebecca Cloninger and Carolyn Niemeyer and Peppy Jones right now in kind of the interim with all these things. So we need people to help pick up food from the warehouse, to people to pack the food here, to then people to deliver it to the school system. The actual school, not system. So if you'd like to help with that, with getting some physical labor of packing those foods together, and please contact one of them. We have Displaced Roses, which we already heard about, and Danielle just kind of reiterating this, of we're looking for somebody to be a representative of our church that can help volunteer coordinate for her, so that when she has a need, that person can find a person to fill that need. We have our Red Cross Blood Drive, we have our Veterans Lunch, and also our Giving Tree. And then for global, we have Rise Against Hunger, which we just did a couple weeks ago on August 25th with Bruce and Judy there. We've got Giving Tree for international mission trips. We haven't gone on a mission trip since 2020. Last time that we did that was to Casa Bernabe. Yep, and that was right before COVID shut us down. So that's something that I'm passionate about, as both domestically as well as internationally. Last time that I went on a mission trip was to Florida after Hurricane Ida, and I went with 80 other people, mostly kids. So there's youth trip stuff that Cody's thinking about, and there's adult stuff with kids as well, if that's a ministry we can connect to. We have our disaster response with the NALC that kind of oversees the domestic stuff here, that I am on a task force with them, so I'm connected to, when we get a fire in California, or we have a hurricane in the Gulf area or Florida area, I know about all that stuff. So we have our local disaster warehouse is in Kings Mountain, and so that's where we're going to do our flood buckets for October for our 125th anniversary. Those buckets will go to that warehouse to be ready to go for dispersion. So there's kind of three areas in that. There's kind of preparation, so training and stockpiling of goods and or resources to go out, and there's initial response is two, to give those resources out to help start the process of cleaning up, and then there's three is long-term recovery. And so that's the long-term recovery is the mission trip side of things. So anyways, contact me if you would like to do a mission trip, and I'm going to start doing some research on that for the future. Takes kind of at least 6 months to kind of get things planned. So if we're thinking about something next summer or next spring, now is the time to start thinking about those. And then we also have Operation Christmas Child. So those are kind of those. Is there anything that I'm missing with outreach? Yes, ma'am. Yep. Awesome. The circles do that. Awesome. Okay. Is that what you were going to say? I forgot about Cam. Yeah, and I think Carla and Mick McMahon are also helping with that. I think Carla's our council representative right now. Yeah.
And the USO at Charlotte Airport.
Yes.
Anyone that has 5 Sundays, that's when we put the USO.
Okay. So USO collecting on the 5th Sunday, if we have a 5th months that have a 5th Sunday. Okay. Can you write those down for me? I don't have a pen. Thank you. Need? Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Crisis Pregnancy Center? Gotcha. So, Crisis Pregnancy Center, we have the baby bottles that are filled Mother's Day through Father's Day with change or a check or whatever, and those are turned over to them. Okay? Anything else I'm missing? I'm telling you, we got lots of things going on, and I don't have it all down. Yes, October 28th. Yes, I will.
If you have given before then, you need to continue your tradition of giving blood. So anyway, and the table will always be out there as you come in the PLC, and Sarah Waldrop is usually on that table. So I think she's already gone today, but
Yes.
anyway, okay. I just wanted to reemphasize.
Awesome. Thank you. Anything else that we missed? I just want to make sure we got everything covered. And this is not an exclusive list. We can add things to it as we go. But just want to make sure that we have this in front of everyone so that they can get involved as they see fit. We have an, yes?
It's not about outreach, but it's more about the benevolence committee.
Uh-huh.
We don't know about benevolence committee. The church took away The church actually gives 10% of the money that you give to the church. We give away 10% to different causes, and these are local and global ministries. If you have a cause that you support, maybe it's one that you're hands-on with, and then you would like the church to provide financial support for, if you could let me, Heather Peoples, know, and we could add that to the list to consider as we're looking at the list for the upcoming budget season. So if you have a cause that you would like the church to consider, please let me know, and we can look into adding them to our benevolence list.
Awesome. Thank you. Always one more thought.
Always one more thing, sorry. And you also can get involved in the blood drive, not just giving blood. Because
Volunteer, yeah.
talk to Peppy Jones. She kind of runs that part of it. But you can come and help. You can we provide food and meals, and that's why a lot of people come, because we provide all that food. So that's another way to help.
Awesome. Well, great. And for the sake of time, we're going to move on to endowment. Endowment, again, just a little plug, those grants need to be in today by 11:59 p.m. Otherwise, they will not be considered for the endowment grant this year. The council rep is Martin Brown, but Donna really kind of does her thing and is great at it. So, is there anything you want to say about endowment? Nope. Okay. Help fill me in here. Is there a certain percentage that we give away from that? Is it?
Yeah, we are able to have a large amount of that. Each year we get the interest, the income from the endowment. I don't remember exactly what percentage it is right now.
I want to say it's like 4%. Is it 4?
Something like that.
Yeah, 4%. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has grown significantly this year.
It has done well this year.
Yeah.
And we take requests from the congregation and from the community. And we decide each year based on how much money we have, how much goes to each of those requests.
Okay.
Some maybe not at all, some,
And there's 4 categories, if you're not familiar. There's there's capital. There's scholarship, like in continued education.
Yeah.
And then there's
Missions,
outreach,
outreach,
missions.
yeah.
Yep.
and
What was the last one?
I can't remember. You caught me off guard.
I'm sorry. Sorry to put you on the hot seat. But yeah, it's a great opportunity that allows us to relieve some of the burden on our budget for some of these one-off projects, as well as supporting, like, for instance, it supports my continued ed so that it is not a burden on the church budget. It is something that's continued through that endowment. Any questions about endowment? Continuing on. So this next group is Christian formation. So this is a new group that has been combined from formerly groups of discipleship, as well as youth and family ministries, or youth and children's ministries. It really is kind of this emphasis on education, parish education, Christian formation, and what is it like to be Christ-like. And so that is all the way from birth all the way to your elderly years. I didn't say old years, but elderly years. Your wisdom years. So with that, Cody, as our Director of Christian Education, is your main contact, along with Donna Motzinger. And so really it's just about equipping all individuals to grow in their faith and develop a passion to share our faith with others. So again, all aspects of Christian formation and education. So there's various different opportunities to be involved as well as to serve. So we have confirmation. We've got Cody and I are working on like mentors for our confirmation students to kind of connect them to someone outside of their family that is part of our church family that can continue to foster and grow that relationship with Christ. We have children's ministry, Sunday school. Backside we've got adult education, junior, senior high youth, post high school. I see you, sweetie. I see you. And we got young adult ministry, family ministry, parents' night out, parents' morning out. We've got adult Bible studies, men's and women's, new members classes, as well as small groups and life groups, and even pub theology on there. Lots of different ways to grow in your faith. And so there's just whatever is piquing your interest, and that's where that other sheet that we handed out that's got those 5 Sunday school classes on there. If something is, if you want to do a change up and try something new, or even get involved within the class, or get involved for the first time, they're great opportunities to connect with our fellow members here at HTLC. And then last but not least, just because it starts with a W, is worship and music. And so this is our council representatives, Rick Jones. Pepe is kind of our main contact person for that, and chair for that. So the music ministry at HTLC exists to lead us in song, to worship, all things music, providing input and guidance to myself and the other music staff, assisting in coordination of special events and coordinating seasonal decorations. So there's lots of different service opportunities, to setting up the altar, or even over in the PLC. I know that Sissy and Frank help with that, as well as Sarah Waldrop and John Waldrop help with the PLC and getting that 8:30 service work up and working. We've got our Chrismon ministry, we've got our altar flowers, seasonal decorations, and then even to helping schedule our worship assistants, helping connect the people that are willing to read and get up here and lead to reading, prayer assistance, all that kind of stuff, as well as musicians. So we are without a music director right now, so I will be the point of contact for musicians if needed, as well as the lovely Matthew Noonan up there. So any further questions, clarifications?
We have a number of volunteers to lector, to serve as communion assistants, ushers, greeters. There's always room for more. So if you are not on the rotation and would like to be, let us know. There are still opportunities on the flower chart for the month of November, I believe. There may be a scattered one in October, but I think September's covered. And then we'll be doing poinsettias
Soon.
for December.
Very soon.
Yes.
Just right around the corner. Yes, so lots of different things that we got going on at Holy Trinity. Again, if there's something that's not on this list that should be on the list, please let me know so we can get that updated for future. Please prayerfully consider where you're at, and your stage of life and all the different things that are going on, and where you'd like to get involved. Any other further questions? All right. Again, Danielle is out in the connector if you want to touch base with her before worship, and or if you are here at 8:30 worship and you're now ready to go home, the Lord bless you and keep you. And you may go. Thank you.